I saw this story today about Roman Abramovich has turned down an offer from a Middle East consortium to buy the club, to buy Chelsea. And it turns out that, according to the media, that he's holding out for at least £3 billion for the club. It says here in the article that a Chelsea owner, Roman Abramovich, has reportedly turned down an offer from a consortium based in the Middle East to buy the club. Abramovich, once a regular fixture in the director's box at Stamford Bridge, has been locked in a visa row with the UK government in recent months and hasn't been seen around the club. The issue fueled speculation that he may look to sell the Premier League giants, but the Telegraph now claim that the Russian rejected a big money offer towards the end of last season. It does go on to say when you read the article that he didn't necessarily turn it down because he doesn't want to sell. There's a lot of talk about him turning this offer down because it wasn't enough money. It goes on to say, according to the report, the 52-year-old who bought the Blues back in 2003 has no initial intention of selling the club. One Moscow-based connection told the Telegraph that Roman simply wants at least £3 billion before he is willing to start listening. Britain's richest man, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, was strongly linked with a bid for Chelsea before completing the takeover of French club Lille last summer. US and Asian-based consortia. A US and Asian-based consortium were also said to have shown interest in the deal, but the money bid was not deemed to be enough. And it's a real interesting one for me because there's been a lot of talk and a lot of speculation for a while now about Roman Abramovich potentially selling the club. Equally, more money from the Middle East looking as though it's going to be pumped in to the Premier League. And I want to ask Chelsea fans this. I mean, would you fear new owners? Roman has taken Chelsea and turned them from a big club into a gigantic club. There is absolutely there's no doubt about it. You can't deny what Roman Abramovich has done for Chelsea. It has been absolutely phenomenal. A new owner may not necessarily achieve that. But if Roman can't come into the UK, if the visa issues are not resolved, if they're not sorted, he may look to do it. There's also a lot of attention from all over the Middle East to buy Premier League clubs. I think already 4 or 5 already own Premier League clubs, and more are looking to do it. And it raises the question, of course, that there's big speculation about Man United being purchased by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia at the moment, and that brings up a whole heap of morality questions. Human rights issues within those countries, where has the money been sourced from, general international behaviours. The problem with the criticism is that I'm starting to get the feeling that over the next 4, 5, 6 years or so, more and more clubs are going to end up being owned by people from the Middle East and China. They appear to be the two nations that are pumping so much money into these football clubs. And the issue then is, who then has the moral standing to complain about other clubs if the vast majority in the Premier League especially end up with ownership such as that? As everyone knows, I'm very much apolitical, so I don't publicise my political affiliations, and equally I try to assess each situation neutrally as opposed to thinking it from those points. But I understand very much how particular people feel. But Chelsea fans, would you be happy with this? Or would you be very sad to see Roman leave? I think definitely been some things that Roman's done, in my opinion. I do think he sacked managers too early at times. I do think that he's made some mistakes along those lines. I think that there's always been the speculation that he has, and he's bored of interfered sometimes with managers far too much. And of course, they've made poor decisions in the past, but everybody does. But overall, since 2003 until now, all 16 or so years, Chelsea have gone from strength to strength, won back-to-back league titles, they've won FA Cups, doubles, Champions League, multiple League Cups, Super Cups, UEFA Cups, or the Europa League as it's called now. Would you be fearful as a Chelsea fan that if he was to sell, it could all fall apart? The new owner may not be as good. They may not invest as much money. Maybe they make poor decisions and the club goes backwards. Because not every club that has multi-billion pound owners from the Middle East or China goes on to do huge, brilliant, wonderful things. A comment here from Don says, I would be nervous if Roman sold the club. It would be like your parents sending you to live with another family. Harry Stokes with a very weird comment who says, Roman is a dogmatic, myopic man. It's as simple as that. To be honest, I don't think you become a billionaire being myopic. I don't know if that's possible. I really don't know if that's possible. I really don't know if that's possible. But it does appear as though he's going to... I don't think... Maybe it doesn't appear that he's going to sell. I think very much like the Glazers, at Manchester United. I think there's the possibility that they will sell. But the money has to be right. I think that's the biggest aspect of this. The money has got to be right. I'm going to jump into some of your comments on this as we are recording this live. I'm going to get them put up on the screen right now. What a weird comment. Terry, Oxlade-Chamberlain is better than Pogba. We're not talking about that anymore. Anyway, Terry, do you want a takeover at Man United is what Don has asked me. Yes, of course I do. I do want to take over at Man United. I want someone who's truly interested in making my club brilliant on the field of play again. And I think that's what I'm really posing here as a question to Chelsea supporters. We know that Roman has wanted to make you a brilliant footballing side. But if he does want to sell the club, if whether it's because of the visa issues or other outside situations, even though you love Roman and he's made your club brilliant, surely it's better to have owners at the club that want to make you a success and that they're 110% committed to the cause, as opposed to an owner who, it's gone off the boil a little bit. The relationship has broken down. The comment here says Middle Eastern owners will be drawn towards buying players like Mohamed Salah. Yeah, maybe. But listen, there is not a chance whatsoever of any Premier League club signing Mo Salah from Liverpool. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. They will not do it. They will not do that at all, in my opinion. Not at all. Westside says, yes, there is. No, they're not going to make that mistake. Terry, do you think FSG will sell Liverpool? Not right now. Not right now. I think that they've got Liverpool into the most amazing position. From a business point of view, everything's going very, very well at Liverpool. So I don't think that will happen. I just think when you look at the Chelsea situation and when you look at the Man United situation, although both are not the same, although they're both different from one another, I think that both have a genuine need, potentially both have a genuine need to be sold, where Liverpool don't. They really don't. Comment here from Pop, who says, no chance, FSG are going absolutely nowhere. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I've said, that's what I think, and I agree with that. So yeah, that's my view on it, really. But Chelsea fans, I want to ask you, the news is coming out. Supposedly Roman Abramovich is willing to sell the club for around £3 billion. Does it concern you? Does it worry you? Or is it just simply upsetting? Upsetting because of what Roman has helped you to achieve, what Roman has done to drive you forward as a football club. Or maybe a combination of both. There is that fear that a new owner could ruin you, could run you into the ground. And we've seen wealthy owners do that to clubs inside the UK, when we've seen that on a number of occasions. So I'd love your views and I'd love your opinions on that. But make sure you do me that big favour, as always, hitting that like button and the share button as well.